It seems to me that the university system is built to funnel people, credential people into the corporate world. So those credentials are not that critical for small business entrepreneurs. I mean, that's one thing that was really frustrating to me. I had this like really expensive college degree, and I found that small business owners, they didn't care. So like I got hired, my best job and the job that, I met my mentor, I got hired because of some warehouse job I had over the summer, not the $60,000 degree that I invested in. I think the lesson there is that small business entrepreneurs, they're looking for people with working knowledge. And the way you get working knowledge is you become an apprentice. Before the rise of like corporatism, artisans had apprentices, and like that's how you learned. And I think that I'm seeing that trend happen in small business entrepreneurship. I've measured this, right? So I've taken all the locations that I've lived and I've divided my blog post output by each location that I lived. And I found that I'm most productive in Bali. For whatever reason, there's like a writerly, artistic vibe on that island. And it might, now you could say it's because the bad internet. I'm not on the phone all the time. I don't know, not on the YouTube. But yeah, Bali, Indonesia, final answer. You know what? I didn't know if I was going to succeed. Like, I just figured, I saw it. I saw other people having success with entrepreneurship, and I couldn't bear not to try. Like that's how I felt. Like I've exhausted my research of this corporate lifestyle, and like I know exactly where it goes, and it can't get me all the things that I want in my life. It can't get me like a year abroad. It can't get me a few months off to write a book. It can't get me time freedom to take off a day whenever I want. And so I exhausted that research, and like, so I just had to see. And if I would have failed, I could have just gone back and maybe try to get another job. It's tempting to think that way, like part of me wants to say there's no shortcut. I say that in the same breath as I say that it's getting easier and more accessible, in part because the stories are more legible and visible. You can find people who are doing exactly what you want, and you can go learn directly from them by watching them or by working directly with them in person. So for me, it wasn't so much a mistake as it was a lack of vision. I think at the beginning, I underestimated how difficult it would be to grow a business at scale. At the beginning, you put up a website, you sell your first product, or you get your first logo designed, or you have a few clients and they pay you, and all of a sudden you maybe take your first trip and everything's great. But in order to sustain that and like grow something that can exist without your daily input and grind, a glorified job basically, you have to go through something Seth Godin calls the dip. You have to learn how to hire, you have to learn how to manage cash flows, you have to learn how to manage angry clients who aren't happy with your services, and how to improve, and that's the hard road. And for me, that was 2009. It was a difficult year. I didn't really know if my business was going to work out, and I guess if I could go back to that 2009 Dan and talk to him, I'd say like, hey, you're doing the right things. You're on the right path. Even if this business doesn't work out, don't worry. You can just start another one.